Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to episode 79 of Europa Universalis IV. Things are going quite well. We've managed to take some extra land from Great Britain, and one thing I should do actually, I've just remembered about it. I need to go ahead and cancel that mission to take Lancashire because it's going to be a little while before we can actually declare war on England again anyway. We actually have a truce with them until... Can't find it. Could just look up here, can't I? Truces. Can I actually find when that is? 1703. So yeah, we've got another 8 years before we can go to war with Great Britain again anyway. Let's recall that diplomat. We've lost another advisor, which is our military guy. Let's go ahead and take the fort defense one. He gives us +3, which means we can catch up and use some of that money, some of those points to build military buildings. And secondly, it means that if we do get attacked, we're going to have a bit better fort defense. Right, you guys are all going to go into Charlemagne, which is the sort of boiling pot for all the spare regiments that we have. You're going to go back up here and pick up these other guys in your own time. It gets quite quickly across those transports. We are still going to need to make some more fleets. So we want... come on, get out of my way. 10 lights. 10 lights again. These lights are actually really cheap. Let's see what the cost of a light is. They're really cheap. And another 10. So... we'll have our 30 more lights. Another colony has become self-sustaining. And then we'll have 4 trade fleets making us some decent buck. Let's go to the colony. Brilliant. That one's done. Where do we move to next? Maybe up here. Go and grab that. What did I want to look at? Trade. 76.64. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. There's another thing in this game. If you've been watching me play this from the start, and I always forget that this thing even exists. I always forget to use it, and it's really, really terrible. So if any of you are familiar with EU4 and you've been watching this shouting at the screen because I haven't been doing it, I can completely sympathise. I kick myself sometimes when I forget. But what that is, if you actually go into your missions and decisions tab, so you've got your missions here at the top, and you have your national decisions here at the bottom. But you have this almost hidden little bit in the middle that says policies. Now, if you hit add policy, you'll see a number of things that appear. Now, these appear if you have completed certain idea groups. And what you normally have to do is you have to complete a combination of 2 idea groups. 2 idea groups unlocks a policy once it's completed. So if you don't have... if you only have a single idea group, you won't have a policy. If you have 2 idea groups, you'll have 1 policy, which will be the combination of those 2 idea groups. If you have 3 idea groups, then you'd end up with 2 policies, because you'd have the policy between idea group A and B, and you'd have the... actually, you'd have 3. You'd have the policy between idea group A and B, you'd have the policy between idea groups B and C, and you'd have the policy between idea groups A and C. So the more idea groups you have, the more policies you get. And they are split into admin, diplo, and military policies. And they do cost points per month. So if I enact a military policy, it'll cost me 1 military power per month. I could enact all 6 if I wanted, and that would cost me 6 military power per month. You can toggle them on and off. So, like the mining aid, for example, gives us +5%, no, +0.5 yearly army tradition, and it gives us +1 leader fire. We could reduce manpower recovery speed. I mean, that would be absolutely brilliant. Let's go ahead and enact that now. Enacting superior supply systems will cost you 1 military power each month, and it has to be active for 10 years before it can be repealed. So that is one thing that you do have to remember. You do have to have something going for 10 years. You can't just, run it for a couple of months and turn it off. But that would be really, really good. We could also reduce regiment costs and reduce recovery speed on morale. It's all really, really good. And army tradition. What is our current army tradition? 73.1. It's actually not bad. How much military points are we making? Monthly increase plus 10. That's actually really, really good. What I'm tempted to do is go back in there to those policies. We definitely want the manpower recovery speed on. And is there anything else here that we need? Global trade power, Diplo rep. No, we could have actually had risk assessment policy in running first. That would have been better. You can actually see if you mouse over it. It's because I'm stupid and hadn't noticed that. So this risk assessment policy, I get that because I've completed offensive ideas and expansion ideas. This one is because I've completed Diplo and quality. This one because I've completed Diplo and expansion. This one because I've completed exploration and defensive. This one because I've completed expansion and exploration. So you get the idea. If you complete two policies, if you complete two idea groups, it unlocks a policy, and you can toggle that on and off. Do I want that yearly army tradition? It would be nice, and we can afford the military points. We can get our army tradition up nice and high, because we haven't had any quests to be able to do that, any missions to do that for quite some time. Do we have those other guys back on the boat? Oh no, you're still counting as number 1 now, aren't you? Has that ship arrived? Not yet. Okay, we'll unpause and keep things going. What are you guys doing down here? What are you short of? You're short of 6 cannons. I definitely don't have 6 cannons, so let's go ahead and grab 6 cannons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you can all move in when you're done. Another colony has become self-sustaining. Fantastic, that's another coastal colony as well, so you can move up to there. Go and colonise that. We'll need to get another conquistador down here at some point, once we've pretty much grabbed as much as we can. We've pretty much secured North America. It is quite possible that we could go down here and I suppose I should grab those really just to stop Norway expanding, but we'll struggle to get into South America, mostly because there's a lot of Castile here. We would have to go through the Aztecs first. Aztecs aren't going to be a problem at all. We could wipe them out. But then we start hitting Castile, and we start hitting sort of the Netherlands. It's Dutch. So, yeah, New Granada, look at that. Is this actually owned by Granada? No, it is owned by Castile. Okay, fair enough. But still, we've pretty much got most of the North America secured. Some of it is still held by Great Britain. But they're really going to have a lot of trouble trying to expand or do anything over there. We could also allow some of our neighbours to go to war with places like the Huron, for example. So we could go and say, let's declare war against the Huron. And try and take their capital. They are actually allied with Great Britain. Great Britain might even come in on that war. Which wouldn't bother me all that much, to be honest, because I certainly think that French Canada can handle them. And if Britain... Right, let's declare that war. I'm not declaring war against England, so that doesn't actually have any effect on me. We've already just won a naval battle because Great Britain have got a few ships floating around. I still don't think Great Britain have an awful lot going for them in terms of navies and armies. Great Britain has 8 transports, 3 heavies, and 6 lights. Not bothered at all. Armies, Great Britain has 24k. So they've potentially got some troops over here. Yep, they have. They've got a 24k stat. That's a bit of a pain. Let's just pause up there. They're just going to go and sit in marshes. That's fine. What we're going to do is we're just going to... why can't we get the mercenaries here? We can. It's just warning me that some of these places can't be reached or might be cut off. And let's get a leader over there. Colonies become self-sustaining. Another one. Fantastic. So let's go and deal with that first. Which is this one. And I think you're actually going to come down here now, and we'll try and cut off Norway. So let's go and take one of these leaders, which we probably don't need down here. Let's go and take this leader out of Tyrol. So, no leader. And then we'll go over here and assign the leader to you. There we go. And then once we've got all these mercenaries, we'll go and jump on Great Britain's troops. Now, remember, we're not actually overextended. We have a load of aggressive expansion with people, but, well, that was always going to happen. So what we could also try and do is grab some more stuff from Great Britain. There's no reason why we shouldn't. Looks like Brandenburg's actually coming in to help here as well, which was unexpected. So we've got some men here. Let's go ahead and dive in. I'm not going to bother with my fleets or anything. They just say our ports are blockaded. 13 ships, yeah. As soon as you run into one of my trade fleets... In fact, there's already a few ships running into trade fleets here and there and just getting themselves destroyed. We're just going to chase England's armies down. There we go. Their fleet has ran into my trade fleet. Now, I have lost a few ships there, which is unfortunate. But we can deal with that. That's not a problem at all. So, yeah, we've completely sunk their... what can we get here? Local defensiveness for 50 ducats, yeah. You guys go in there and finish them off. And Brandenburg are going to help us siege. Fantastic. Now, who else is in this war? Yep, just those guys. Great Britain, British West Indies, Newfoundland. And Brandenburg's in, Corsica's in, Bremen's in. Fine. Absolutely not a problem at all. And we'll be able to grab some more stuff from Great Britain. You guys just keep marching around. Wow, 10 prestige and 20 legitimacy for a shit ton of money. Don't think I want to do that. Minus 10 prestige, I'm fine with. We're going to be regaining prestige, of course, because we're actually in combat. We're in a battle. Let's just have a quick look and see. Great Britain's armies is now down to 4,000. They do have some manpower in the bank. Only 11,500, though. Not an awful lot. So we should be able to deal with Great Britain quite easily. Not bothered about them at all. Now, the question is, what do I actually want to take from them? Because, yeah, we'll keep taking those missions. I actually have claims on Gloucestershire, Lancashire, Derby, and Lincoln. So I might try and take as many of them as possible. Derby is the least useful because Derby is landlocked, whereas everything else is coastal. So let's recall our diplomat from Siena because we're maxed out there. Now, Siena, how do you feel about me now? You're actually growing quite big. Would you be willing to, for example, royal marriage? No, you don't have a royal marriage type because you are a merchant republic. And you wouldn't ally with me... Oh, because I'm in a war. But if I wasn't in a war, you might actually ally me. Okay, that's interesting. Well, this war won't be going on all that long. So what have we got going on over here? We actually gained a heavy. One of our trade fleets gained a heavy. So we'll grab that heavy. And we will mothball you. And you can then group up with... right, we don't want the lights. We don't want those lights. We don't want those lights. So you guys can all group up. There we go. Free heavy. We'll sort all the ships out afterwards. We might have to do a little bit of blanket sieging here. So let's go down and put some units into Gloucester. Of course, we are still going to be taking attrition. I wouldn't be surprised if England is defensive. Oh, no, they haven't gone defensive. They've gone quality, but not defensive. Okay, that's fine. Not too bothered by that. Let's detach a siege there. As you can see, I'm actually running this in speed 3. I'm not even bothered by this war. It's so not a problem. I'm really having problems with hitboxes today, though, and getting the guys to go where I want them to. Let's unpause it. Will we actually chase them down there? Yeah, nice and easily. We'll detach a siege. We'll move over here. Brandenburg still seems to be dropping more and more men off. I'm not entirely sure we need that many men, Brandenburg, but I'm not going to say no to the assist. So we're not going full blanket siege here. But I certainly want to siege enough just to stop them being too much of a pain this far down south. We should be good. And of course the guys up north will be doing their thing absolutely fine. Let's go ahead and select all of these units and put them together. We can pick a new mission now as well. Accumulate money, improve relations with the Papal State, or claim our rival's province Ayrshire. Well, we can't do the claim because we're currently at war. Accumulate money means getting up to how much? 3,000. That won't take all that long. For 10 prestige. I think we'll just claim our rival's province. We won't be able to claim it until after the war, but it's the best reward and the easiest one to do, so we'll go ahead and do that. Brandenburg are actually just laughing all over Great Britain at the moment, so I'm absolutely fine with that. What have we got going over here? We've got the rest of our trade fleet here, which is going to be grouped together, and you are going to protect trade in Bordeaux. Still says it'll increase our trade value from 0 to 29.37, but we've already got a trade fleet over there, so we should technically already be doing that. It's a little bit weird sometimes what it reports, but oh well, if it keeps money coming in, it keeps money coming in, doesn't it? Last month you gained 70 from trade. Your estimated income from trade next month is 70.6. You'll get income from the following nodes: Champagne and the English Channel. I suppose that's so, isn't it? Because I don't actually get trade from the nodes where I send my ships. All sending my ships to these trade nodes does is it uses my trade power to push things forward. France is using their trade power to transport 18.95 forward. Having a merchant gives +2 trade power. At least now the absent merchant thing doesn't actually remove the merchant from the node, which was a complete pain. Current trade power from light ships. Yeah, we've got +300 trade power from light ships. So basically having more ships means that we can push more trade power in our direction. So that's mainly the way that works. It's quite complicated. I still don't fully understand the way that trade works. It's very, very... I'm sure there's people out there that just find it such an easy thing. I don't. So, you know, make your peace with it. What have we got here? We need 5 men, 3 infantry, and 6 cannons. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men. 3 infantry, 6 cannons. 1, 2, 3 infantry, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cannons. Okay, so then we'll be closer to our proper numbers. We've also then got these guys that I've forgotten about, which probably means we're going to have we'll be over on our infantry, but that's not a problem. Actually, I'm going to leave those. I'm going to leave those guys there for now because I don't want them coming across and getting sunk by a British fleet. As you can see, the guys over here, they're doing a fantastic job. So when I do the peace treaty, I'll try and take as much for these guys as possible. Won the siege of Lincoln, fantastic. So you guys can move forwards. Looks like Great Britain is reassembling a little bit of an army, so got to be careful with that. Group you up. You can move forwards. Of course, we do still have mercenaries here at the moment. Quite happy with that. In new technology, admin tech. We are actually behind time in admin tech, but we're probably going to have to do a little bit of coring soon. So I'm going to save the admin points for now. Truce with Milan ended, and they instantly jumped into a military coalition against us. Not surprising. We'll see what these guys do if they attempt to move in on us. Brandenburg still have a lot of troops down here. And again, we're still getting attrition into next week. Won the siege of Yorkshire. Before we do anything about that, let's just try and get... Oh, no, not those guys. It makes me laugh. Sometimes it does select units and sometimes it doesn't. It's very flaky. There we go. We'll move all of you guys in. What was that? Yep, we won that siege. Looks like Brandenburg are going in to crush the army, so we'll go with them. We have a royal marriage offer from the Commonwealth, so we'll accept. Wasn't aware that we hadn't already got one. Brandenburg are going to spread like the plague and just go and annoy Great Britain. That's fine. Oh, There we go. Group you guys together, and you are just short of 2 cannons, which is there and there. Fantastic. So that's another stack done. What are we looking like on force limit? We are still below by another 20, so we could build another 20 stack, but we'll get those other guys over from the other continent before we do anything. Oh, hang on. Bremen, with their singular unit over here, are about to get destroyed. So let's go in, and we won't get there in time, unfortunately, but we still got there in time to stack wipe. French-Mexico extra tariff value and 50 ducats for improved fortifications. It's all looking good. Won the siege of Lancashire. Fantastic. Now we'll go up and just sit in Aberdeen. It's not going to take very long at all to get 100% siege on Great Britain. So that's going to be really, really nice. And they haven't coalitioned as yet either. So that was actually a really good war to start. And we're going to try and take as much of Newfoundland away from England as possible and give it to our colonial nations. Siege of Gloucestershire has been won. It would be nice if they could go ahead and grab this place down here, but it does appear to have some rebel problems. And I guess they're going to try and siege out the Huron first because they are the war goal. So once that's done, then they'll probably move on to finishing off Newfoundland while we are actually sieging the British mainland over here. So that's working out quite well for us. I know I said that my original plan was to actually take the HRE. I'd still like to take as big a bite out of it as possible. But at the same time, I'm also going to be trying to do as much as possible to take Great Britain. Now, is this actually... This is Bremen. So who are you guys? Why are you involved in this? Because I didn't realise I had an alliance with you. Unless you're owned by Brandenburg. Is that it? It's a vassal under Brandenburg. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Great Britain are running out of places to spawn. And I've gone over the 20-minute mark, but this war's going quite well, so I might just let this video run on until we've got a little bit more stuff done. Although we'll see how that's going to work out. We're only at 76% war score, so we're not going to get all that far. Looking at the imperial reforms, there's still a few more things that could be imposed. But I don't think we have too much to worry about with the Holy Roman Empire at this point. Those guys are all still mothballed. So yeah, it is probably going to take a while to win a few of these sieges, so I am going to end the video there, and we'll conclude this war when we come back on the next video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Europa Universalis IV, and I'll see you next time. So until then, goodbye for now.